And good morning to you on this Friday, May the 29th. Almost, not quite, almost June. It's good to be here. 6:02 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We had a little internet issues last night. I believe those are greatly improved. It took a little while. This weather has wreaked havoc with systems, though, in the area. I don't know what that was yesterday because we didn't have any storms yesterday, but it is a lot better. I tried to do some news last night and it just didn't work, but we're glad to be here. Kick off your Friday and hope you have great plans. Just being alive, just being out there enjoying family is always a blessing. So the news has not changed much since last night. There's no deal yet between the Americans, the Iranians, all the other aliens or Indians or whoever it is. I don't know who the Cowboys and Indians are. Some have black hats, some white hats, some it's gray. We don't know what they are. Some pretend to be white hats. Some pretend to be black hats. I don't know. Some are good, some are bad, some maybe sort of bad or sort of good. Don't know. It's kind of hard to know the players sometimes. So anyway, I am a little bit sick and tired of that we're close. If there's anything, and I understand the situation we're dealing with. Nobody has to tell me about the Iranians, although everybody tries. I've been watching the Iranians for a heck of a long time, probably before some of these people were born. I understand how things work in the Middle East. I understand the double talk, the double language. The English says one thing, and the Arabic says another. I understand America's role. I've seen what we've done over the decades. But this administration, although I support, I don't like this constantly on the goal line. Constantly. This is not the first time they've done that. Let's wait till we have something significant. This any moment kind of thing is like it wears a little old, just thin, old. I mean, if we got a deal, we got a deal. Don't say we got it. Don't say we're close. When we're, it's like the little fisherman with the money hanging down. Almost. You thought you had it. That's what it feels like. I get what we're dealing with, but you're making yourself look dumb when you say we got a deal. We're very close. Any moment. I mean, now they added in a new wrinkle. It's on the president's desk. Well, it may be, but they're, pushing it through the allies, and there's still missiles going off and drones. And what are we signing? That's a whole other question we'll have to get to when that time comes. But for me, it just gets a little old that we have, this constant back and forth of we're almost there. We kind of got a deal. We sort of got a deal. It's a big deal. It just gets a little old. I mean, after a while, people quit listening to that. I mean, after a while, people say, whatever. And that seems as though, I get it. There's a lot of they're spinning a lot of plates. Economy, politics, midterms. You got a partner over there who, let's be honest, they hate our guts. I mean, I'm talking about the regime. They hate our guts, and I don't care. And I'm for knocking them back a couple of millennia as far as their ability, but we didn't really do that. We did one way, as far as some things, but we didn't in another way. So, but anyway, whatever your feelings are about it, it don't really matter. I mean, we're all just kind of caught up in the cosmic force of we're just sitting back and watching this play out because there's not one dang thing we can do about it. And that's okay. That's fine. That's why we're here. We can make comments. Everybody has a comment, and everybody has an opinion. And that's good. All opinions here are welcome, as long as they're not directed in a hateful way. But I do get really tired of this constant. We're almost there. We got a deal. Well, we had a deal. Well, now we don't have a deal. If we're that close, I want to see, we're just wrapping up a couple things. It's kind of like a trade that never really happens in sports. We got a deal. The trade is a deal. And then they get over there, they look at they do do the medical review, and they go, "Uh-oh, you didn't tell us this guy has like 2 bad knees and a broke pelvis. Parade is off." That's kind of what this feels like. It's like we got a working deal, but it's not even that good because the Iranians have never said we're close. They say they're talking about it. Like, well, we got a deal we're talking about. They've never said that. I mean, I give them credit for at least their messaging is that we haven't agreed to jack. And I don't even know who's talking for them because they got this courier system going to this dude that, that's injured. They say maybe deformed or disfigured. I don't know what he is. I don't care. I really don't. The guy, what deep bunker he's in, I think it's, good for him. And he has to stay in that deep bunker. Okay. If he can't lead, then somebody how can the guy hold power? I mean, really, in a regime like that, you'd think he'd already been replaced. And the mafia, if the Don is that injured, I mean, is he really in control? I mean, come on. If couriers, if nobody's around you but some dude, the one guy that you trust to go secretly and run out into the wilderness and meet another guy and he don't know where you came from, are you really in control? You're afraid to do electronics. You're afraid to get pinpointed. There's no cell phone, no electronics whatsoever. He's working off a pen and a paper, and they bring him a new pen each time. The guys, I mean, I'm sure he's got to have some guards around him or something. But are you really in control? I mean, that's not control. I suspect that there's people telling him he's in control. They're like, "Oh yes, Supreme Leader, you still are in control. Yes, we do your bidding." It's not control. That's not control. Control is the dude that's out there running around, flashing the money, and he's in control. That dude's the one in control. That's the one that he's like, "What did he say this time?" "Oh, okay. Thank you." Go back and tell him, "Hey, okay." That dude's not in control. I agree, broski. You can't make a deal with Iran. It can't happen. No, you can't. I'd rather see us get Cuba in line. Well, I think that's the next. Let's come on down. Let's play the game of regime change across the world. If we can't we'll pluck you out. We'll bomb you out. We don't need a deal. We'll just bomb you out. And then we'll put massive military presence around that little island nation. And we'll tell you, you're gone. You're done. Trump wants another motel. Come on. Golf course, the Trump Tower, downtown Havana. He wants to, he's already got plans. And now, within view of Guantanamo Bay, it's the newest and the bestest and the greatest ever has been golf course in Cuba. Come play. Come gamble with your friends. Showgirls. We're going to have music. That's what I'm envisioning. And now opening in downtown Havana, a new Ford dealership. Everybody else, somebody's riding around in a new Ford or a new Chevy or whatever. It probably honestly, broski, would probably be, big, beautiful hotel. Yes. The car dealership would probably be a newer used dealership first. They couldn't go straight to new. That's too far of a jump. But it would be the Trump car lot where they could do all brands. We've got Chevys, we've got Fords, we've got some Hondas and Hyundais. We got anything you like. We kick the tires on them. One owner, got the Carfax report. They're really got 300,000 miles. But hey, the ones you got, they got like 2 million. We got some newer cars for you. Come on in. Don't worry if you don't have the money to pay it all. We got a payment plan for you. The Trump plan. And we're going to bring a new healthcare Trump RX. It's coming your way, Cuba. All you rich yacht owners, get ready. We're going to have a new harbor. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be the bestest thing you've ever seen. Nobody's ever seen a harbor like we're going to have. It's going to be you can hear the old, what is it, Leach, or what was that dude's name? Rich and Famous. Come bring your yacht down. We'll sip Trump wine as we look over the beautiful bay of there. We'll recognize, we'll lay a wreath at the Bay of Pigs, and then we'll celebrate with wine and cheese on the veranda. A veranda, whatever. I just feel like they got dollar signs in their eyes, like we're gonna move in here. This is gonna be great. There'll be no more illegal immigration. I don't know if there is in Cuba. I don't imagine Cuba has much of a problem with that. I mean, you got to come in by ship or plane, boat, raft, float. You can't walk across the border. It would be beautiful. It'd be the best border. I mean, you got the ocean and the sky above. I mean, the only borders they bust is America's, as they do their flotillas across the sea. God rest in memory the mother of Elian Gonzalez, who was forced back into his communist nation's daddy's hands by Janet Reno. His mom gave her life for him to have freedom. They said, oh no, he must go back to his daddy in Cuba. Ripped him out of the hands of those family members in Miami. Remember that? I remember I had disagreements with people about that. You find out in situations like that where people stand. You really do. You really do. I remember it was a new day for me. I was not happy with what I was seeing. Listening to the great Rush Limbaugh, some others, patriots. I go to church, and someone said, it's the law. There's an order. Oh, really? When did we take orders from Cuba? Anyway, that's a whole nother subject. That's when you're like, okay, maybe I'm not on the same page as some of these other beautiful peoples. They don't agree with me. When you bring up Ruby Ridge, Waco, a lot of stuff, and then you're like, well, okay, I'll just keep my mouth shut here. Oh, man, what a beautiful day. Well, I need to get my verse in here. I think I finally got it pulled up. Oh, yes. Yes, yes, yes. What a beautiful picture. Love it. Here we go. Bada bing, bada boom. Fear not, little flock, for it is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. Luke 12:32. What a beautiful, serene water. If I can hear that water flowing over those waterfalls there. That would be a nice scene to just read a book, on a nice fall day before it gets, kind of cool, but it's not hot. It's just beautiful. I love that. Awesome. God bless everybody today. Hope and trust the Lord Jesus. Let me see here. Brother Cook. Love you, brother. Thank you for First Light. Go Wolf Nation. Good morning. Hey, you're welcome, man. I'm glad you could come in. We'll get you back. Appreciate the input that you brought. Yes, First Light. Different voices, different opinions, what it means to them. Got to meet people where they are. It's not per se a deep dive into examining. We're not looking at Greek and Hebrew and Aramaic text. We're just talking about the beauty of the word and how it affects you and what it means to you, and bringing some truth out of that. Because different scriptures mean different things to different people. First Light. So we're real proud of that. You can disagree. Again, it's different voices. But amen. Looks like one of the many waterfalls in the great state of North Carolina. Well, it could be. That could be. They have a lot of them. A lot of mountains in North Carolina. I remember the first time I went through Boone. Outside of Boone, down there at Appy State. Now, there ain't much there. But there's some churches up there and tucked into some hillsides, and I was able to go to a couple of them. I mean, it's funny. You're in like country, like you're in rural areas, beautiful. It's awesome. And then you run up on that little town, college town, and it's like, where did these people come from? It's like totally different. I mean, it's just different, but that's a beautiful setting. I would like to go. I didn't have time to stop. I would like to stop in the town of Boone, look around, maybe take in some food or something. I don't know. I was in a hurry. I was always in a hurry. That's the only problem with it. A lot of times those travels, we were pushing to get to next things. It's kind of like a truck driver, which I wasn't as bad because usually they're stuck on the interstate and they just go, 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 and all they see is the interstate. But every once in a while, you get off the beaten path, and you get to see some really cool stuff. That's awesome. Biscuit Boy, I thought was going to join me. We were kind of chatting. He was posting. I don't know what happened to him. He asked me if I was going to be live this morning. I said, yeah. Oh, yeah. But I was worried because I was still working on a little things on the internet, but it straightened out. Because I started early this morning. I just went to bed. But it looked good. Cook and my boy up on a live this morning on the old TikTok. Hearing some singing. I thought, no wonder my boy can't get up. He's up at, my gosh, that was like 4 o'clock, 4:30 in the morning, man. I'm like, what the heck? I don't think it was that late. It might have been 3-something. 3:30. Maybe it was 3:30. Here I am, and I'm thinking, here I am up in this live. I can't sleep sometimes, and I just get up, do a few things for the Wolf Nation Network. Sometimes watch some crazy videos myself. Was trying to see what some of the news was. I was hoping to see some movement on this thing overseas, but I just don't see it. Yeah, I just don't see it. I do think it's funny that the Iranians said that they downed one of our planes. Throwing some shade, trying to throw everybody off the scent. We took down the imperialist plane. It's in the ocean. Of course, a lot of press would run with that. Are you lying to us? The Iranians said they took down one of our planes. All the officials said, it's a lie. It didn't happen. In fact, what happened was we took out a bunch of their drones. Hasn't this changed the fighting world? People haven't realized traditional warfare, although still necessary and there. These little, and it's little. Come on, our round's not that big. I mean, land-wise, but come on, they're a runt country. Not meaning that in any kind of disrespectful way to the people that are truly beautiful people of Iran. But versus what we have, or Russia, or China, really, come on. The drones, however, and they went heavy into this. They become, and a lot of countries have, it's become the drone warfares. It's like a Star Wars thing or something, And now the drone wars. And they can build these things very quickly. It's like drug labs. I'm sure they've got them buried under the ground. And they have these labs just crushing out drones. They can make them. I mean, honestly, the technology is so simple, man. You just build the structure and put the brain in it and send it out with the explosive pack and video and all that. I mean, there's no telling me these they can kick out in a day. And they're deadly. Now, granted, they probably lose 98% of them. But that 2% that gets through does some damage. I mean, this is all Ukraine has left, right? I mean, I get it. The Russians are making advances. And so I don't know what Zelensky thinks he's doing. I really don't. His gig is up. So he built a balsa wood super cheap. Yeah, Watchman. I mean, it don't take long to build them. So Zelensky's plan is about every 6 weeks, maybe less, maybe more, he sends the drone swarm to Moscow. And he sends them in there and he hits some apartment complex or some building or factory or something. And they injure, maybe even kill a handful of people, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then Putin says, I will kill you. And he launches a massive, massive wave. And I'm thinking, how is this effective, Zelensky? Did you think that was going to end the war? Like you made him look, you made him mad. It's like literally poking the bear. You've made the bear mad now. I mean, I always think, why don't the drones go to the front lines? Why don't you hit some of those troops who have drones as well? Why don't drones go after drones? Why are you sending them all the way to Moscow? I get a little bit, I get that you're hitting some energy and stuff, but it really doesn't slow down Russia whatsoever. It's ineffective. If you're going to use your drones, to me, I would be looking for generals and stuff, on the front lines. Command and control. Look for a munitions depot. They got to have gasoline to keep the stuff running. I mean, look for stuff like that. Blow it up, make a big deal. I just think it's stupid and useless to send them, hundreds of miles all the way to Moscow or some other outlying area and knock out some little, knock out a few windows. And yeah, unfortunately, some people get killed. And then they launched the hypersonic missiles out. I just don't get it. Maybe, I'm not the brightest guy. I'm not saying I ever have been. But it just doesn't seem to make good battlefield sense of use of your resources to go after an apartment complex, that far away when you can only do it every once in a while. I mean, it's not like this happens every day. Russia can do it every day. Zelensky, he gets lucky every once in a while. He gets a hit. We hit it. Oh, great commander. You great dancer, you. We've done it. We've hit it in Moscow. 1,000 drones got shot down, but one got through, oh great leader. And we have taken out a building. We took out a couple of windows. We'll do it again. Just to give us another 6 weeks. We'll figure it out. Iran has 80,000 drones allegedly. I wouldn't doubt it a bit. I wouldn't be surprised if it's more. That is their effective means. They're never going to have a military might like other countries. The speedboats are effective to a point, but the drones are dang effective. And that's what every country that wants to level up to at least be a thorn in your side and just continue to harass you and get lucky every once in a while, the drones is the way to go. Yes, the missiles help too because they're fast, but they're a little more clunky to me because the drones can slip below radar. They can, you can send a swarm of them. You can't get them all. I get, like I said, 95, 98%, maybe even 99. What is the Russian soldier death toll up to in Ukraine? I wonder what Putin tells his people what it is versus what it really is. Well, I've heard that he pulls all the soldiers from the outlying areas, or most of them. They don't like to pull them from the cities so that the people in the urban areas don't realize how bad it is. They control the press a lot, punch the lies. But it is bad. Again, I was doing a live on one of the MP3 sites, and I had a guy come in from Russia. He was a security guard, and he don't like Ukraine, but he don't like Putin either. And he said, "Let's end the dang thing." People they get it. People are dying. I just don't know if they know how bad it is. That's why I don't think they let them, the dead come back home, but they put the injured back on the line because they have a manpower shortage anyway. And plus, I don't think they want maimed soldiers walking back through the streets of Leningrad and everybody, gawking at them and going, "My God, what's going on over there?" So, Iran has 70 Russian missiles that they've not yet used. New tech, carbon fiber shell goes right through radar. Yeah, they've been perfecting this for some time under leadership of other. They've got their own. I'm sure Russian, China, whoever. Everybody's got. And the Russians, they came up with the fiber optic first. They don't go as far, but go a few miles, but you can't jam them. So, it is effective unless you're going to do a ground invasion. That's what they can still be deadly with that, and they can keep churning them out. You can't get to all the labs. That's what I call it, labs. That's what a lab builds something, and that's what they're doing. They just churn them out, and they can launch them from anywhere. You just uncover the hole that you're in, put it up on the ground, and set it off. There's all kinds. The drone is easy to get moving. It's not a missile launcher can be spotted, and that spot can be hit. But you could get, if you can't detect where the drones are coming from, that swarm could be coming from multiple points and probably do. So yeah, it is effective. In other countries we're going to do more of that. It is changing the course of warfare. And here's the thing, I've been expecting it, and we've not seen it yet. But we know that our enemies are going to start doing this more and more right here in the USA. There's going to be drones launched. It's going to happen. There's been limited of things like that, but there's going to be drones launched over American borders by these cartels, because again, you can build them and send them from hundreds of miles away. And just think about that when that crap starts happening. They have missiles that can turn any direction, do loops, zigzag. It's wild. Yeah. I mean, you follow and watch them. They got the cameras on them. That's wild. Now, I will give the Ukrainian, I mean, that time they hit the airplanes, I mean, it was pretty impressive. And it was effective to a point. That kind of hit, I get. That was months in the making. Took a lot of moving parts. Zelensky was desperate. He needed to show the world that he could fight. For him, I say that one was effective to a point, but still, they paid through the nose for that one. But I really don't get the drones that he sends, and they're just hitting us, a park or something in Moscow. Your real threat right now, the missiles and drones coming in from Russia, that's a threat. But you got to stop these troop movements. They're still making advances across the landscape. Even though it's bloody and it's slow, they're still making advances. He loses ground every day. I'd start hitting those dudes. I'm not saying they don't, but you don't ever hear about that. You don't ever hear about it. Where's the big news from that? In the early days, the HIMARS and all that, we were seeing whole tank columns took out. And the Russians stopped playing that game, and they went to the more, just cannon fodder, sending their troops out there, their drones, blasting stuff, just pummeling stuff. But they got away from the, huge columns and stuff. Because I got to give them credit. With our weaponry, they were effective then. But that was over 2 years ago. You don't hear nothing about that anymore. Crazy. Another thing is it came out in the press. They get mad. The president's trying to button it up. But we don't have the missile capability we have. Our stockpile's not empty, but a lot lower than they're liking to admit, and it's going to take a while to rebuild that. I mean, we were dropping tonnage of munitions. And I'm sure we had gotten out of the habit of building as much as we need because we really hadn't been engaged in anything like that in a while. So they're going to have to back up, build some stuff, and be ready for whatever. Maybe it will be Cuba. I don't know. The Riviera of the Caribbean. I still remember was it Godfather 2? Michael Corleone down there with, oh my goodness, what was the guy that he was trying to take out? They were trying to take out each other. I remember Mo Green. I can't remember the other one. What was the dude, the old guy? The Jewish guy that they were still in the hotel down there, and he's got the cake, and he's supposed to be bringing the, Fredo, the 2 million or whatever it is. Israel's doing to Lebanon what they did to Gaza, now murdering Christians left and right. No one says a word. It's disgusting. Well, it's pretty hot and heavy. I don't know who else is being killed, but there's fighting back and forth. Putin invaded Ukraine in February 2022 and said it would be over in a matter of days. Over 4 years later, and some say close to 1 million Russian deaths, it's not over. And that's true. They have paid the bigger price in people. And those numbers are coming from multiple sources. It's evident that remember the early days, they had the mercenaries. Remember that dude? They killed him. All that. I'm sure most of those guys are dead now because they sent the rest of them to the front lines. Instead of killing them, they used them and just used them as cannon fodder. But I'm sure there are kids and old men in that line right now. And if you're over in Russia, they do the same things. They just do it different. You don't hear about it as much. But the Russians are pulling people off the street too. They just do it now. They go to Siberia and different places. They round up men, put them in a line of battle. It is extremely costly. I'm just, nobody really knows but Putin what he wants. Everybody said he just wanted the Donbass. Well, he's got most of that. Most of that is there. Zelensky obviously don't want to sign a deal, but does he really truly want to stop there? East of the river, south and south, east of it. He got it. He got his land bridge all the way to Crimea. He now can come up in Russian territory, but they're still pushing out. It may be that he really does want. I think one thing. I think he wants all of that, and there's still a little bit to wrap up. Two is he's never going to leave Zelensky in power. He'll never agree to that. Zelensky, I said 2 years ago, that dude should take the money and run. He had places that he could go. They would have paid him to get out of town. There's no way. And Russia's going to want somebody that, no NATO talk. Good morning, Daryl. No NATO talk. No, putting, any kind of missile batteries, Patriot batteries, all that's got to be over. And he's wanting somebody there that's pro-Russian, all that. And then he'll probably stand down. But until then, I think he'll just keep taking over the country. Putin strong-armed Russia when he came into power in 2000. He's rewritten their constitution 3 times so he could remain in power. Yes, he has. It's an authoritarian government. No matter what anyone says, the way it's written now, he can stay in power through 2036. And you're right. And he'll continue to stay in power there as long as he wants. Absolutely. And nobody's going to fight the dude straight up because that is still a very powerful country militarily wise, and the fact they do have nuclear weapons. And, I will give him, if I'm going to give him credit for anything, I mean, he's a shrewd guy. He's evil. I have no doubt he's evil. But he's shrewd. He could have put a low yield nuclear bomb over Ukraine and ended this thing. Everybody knows it. Not like nothing anywhere close to the level of Hiroshima or Nagasaki or whatever. But he could have done that. They've got them ones now, and he could have made Kyiv a ghost town, and where nobody could live there for 1,000 years. I mean, he could have done that. And he still could. But it is one of those that's drug on a lot longer than I thought it would. A lot longer. It's very costly. But if you think about it, Russia has not been successful either. If you go all the way back to the fight against the Taliban in Afghanistan, the fights, what's the other one? I mean, they've been involved in several, the Chechenian War. They've been involved in several long time, very costly wars, conflicts, whatever, terrorism. Remember they've hit things in Moscow before, wasn't it? The theater or whatever, they took over and killed people. I mean, there's been some bad things happen. I mean, it's not like the Russian military has been on full display and it's been like a hero's welcome. I mean, they've looked bad at times. I mean, I got to say that, Ukrainian death toll has to be over 1 million. Will Putin take out Zelensky? He put out the death squads early on from that Chechen hit squad. Remember the early days? They were said to have been in Kyiv looking for the dude. Of course, I don't know how you hide the beard. I thought these guys would be spotted a mile away, but Ukrainians look the same way, I guess. But those Chechen hit squad, they look like, a killing machine. But they were supposed to be taking him out. Zelensky at times was out there walking around and, he's done. At first they were hiding him out a lot. Then they loosened up a little bit, But really, a lot of the country is not being hit now. Even Kyiv doesn't suffer that much. Every once in a while, he'll send a volley of missiles and hit a few things, let them know he's still there. But the real bloodbath is on the front lines. Russia's issue is their military leadership and planning is terrible. Their technology is great, but their strategists aren't good. Yeah, there's some stupid people involved there. Very stupid. And they also have lost a lot of their good troops. And they've got what's left is very green. And honestly, it's just like sending them out to their death, to take over a little bit of land, inch by inch by inch. They made some strides recently in one area. Ukraine actually evacuated a village or two in that area where the fighting has been heaviest. They've made some advances, but it's slow. It is so very slow. So I don't know. They just keep moving the line. At some point, this thing has to come to a head. I mean, if he gets within range of Kyiv and can start just pummeling the city, this thing will be over. I mean, to me, I would think that's a key. But who knows how long that's going to go on? And honestly, the world is tired of it. You still hear it talked about a little bit, but this whole Iranian deal, the Strait of Hormuz, China, Taiwan, all that's taken center stage, and Zelensky can't stand it. He has tried his best to keep that war in front of everybody and get more weapons and money and promises and stuff, but it don't work. And he actually thinks like he's like in control over there of the narrative, and he's not. The Chechnya said if U.S. goes boots on the ground in Iran, they will join. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. They love war. Them Chechens, Chechens, they love war. I mean, they're warlike. It's kind of in their nature. So I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, hey, it's a payday. They're for hire. I mean, they are. I'm going to tell you what. If something like that ever, God forbid, ever landed in America, you better be ready, because they'll fight to the death. There's no deals with them. You better be ready to fight with everything you got, because they just don't look at things the same way. They're not appalled by death. I mean, these are the guys. I don't want to say it gently because we're on the air, but these are the guys. You can see the videos out there. They're the ones stepping on the little Russian soldiers, teenager's head and taking it off. I've seen those. I don't ever see them again. But that's those guys. Those guys take. I'm sure the Russians do it, but these guys are far, far more vile than Russian soldiers. They're the kind of guys that would carry around a head of one of their enemies as a trophy with the blood dripping off. They would rub the blood on them. That's those guys. They are far, far worse. And Russians found out. You don't mess with these dudes. I mean, they're maybe, I don't know. I don't know if you would say they're the worst on the face of the planet, but by golly, they're right up there. They're as barbarian as anything I've ever seen. They don't care. They'll hire out to the highest bidder too. They don't have a cause. Their cause is money and power and stuff. So, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, and I don't want to see land troops there. I was just saying that's the only way you're going to get some of the stuff you're after. There's no other way to get it, and no, America does not want to see that. And I don't blame them. I don't want to see it. It's an ugly, ugly, ugly mess. And I will be glad when it's over. I don't like war. I don't. I do like us putting some things back. Sometimes those things have to happen, but we'll see. Let's see here. I was looking to see if there were any other things. Gavin Newsom said he was going to tax all the money that through the fund that the president got or something. I don't know. He's running his mouth a little bit. I do for you, Broski. There was an article. There was an article about this buildup. I read it a day or so ago. I think this article was 2 days ago. But how much we have amped up the Navy around Cuba. We have sent a pretty significant force into that area. With the Nimitz, I think, is there. We've got quite a bit of resources down there in the area, so it has to be making Cuba think that there's fixing to be a military strike. Yes, the Nimitz carrier group in May this month has entered in, along with guided missile destroyers and cruisers, all these capable of launching precision strikes ashore. Surveillance drones and reconnaissance aircraft have reportedly operating around Cuba for months. The USS Kearsarge amphibious ready group carrying roughly 2,500 Marines remains positioned for possible deployment. So whether it's just to show a force or if there's actually something afoot, I don't know. Like I said, I think I've said before, whatever President Trump's end goal is, I do know this. He's been pushing to have, I still say, the 250th celebration of the country. He wants to have a lot of these things in place, and he's not getting it, and he's frustrated because he got the Venezuela thing, got Maduro. That was a big get. He did hit Iran hard. He set them back some. They can claim that. If they get the international waters there open back up, maybe get some sort of promise on the dust, as he calls it, the nuclear dust, then they could claim something there. And if they could pressure or get Raul Castro out of that country or put him on, bring him up on crimes or something, that'd be a heck of a celebration. I really think it's driving all that. It's not the totality of it, but he wants that. He wants the military review, and he wants to show America as in a very strong light. Freedom, patriotism, American might. Greenland's a part of that. I mean, that's because I just think that's important to him, to him. And that's playing into this. It really is. So, all that, I don't know. I get it, Cuba. You don't want other countries using that right on their back door, so to speak. Less than 100 miles, I think, from the tip of the Keys. 90 miles, I've always heard. That's close. That's dang close. You wouldn't want missiles there pointed at. I mean, we've already went through that round one. We don't want to see that. And I would firmly agree with that. Whether we need to go in and do anything, I don't know. I've always been against closing Guantanamo. I don't like the liberal. We're going to close down Guantanamo. Remember when Biden said that? We're going to close Guantanamo. No, you're not. We're not giving that up. That right there is one of the strongest things that we need to keep. And yes, if we need to, we'll put bad people down in Guantanamo. I remember back in the day, Rush Limbaugh had the Club Gitmo. I mean, it was, he sold a lot of those hats. But I firmly believe we need to keep that in place. And it's where we can put bad people that we don't want. Oh, my background. Where we could put we could put bad people. You remember, you got to, when you have to, sometimes people forget the liberal game plan. Remember when it was, I think it might have even started with Obama. Remember when they were going to bring all those terrorists to the United States? They were going to build a prison just for them or something in the Midwest or something. Every state said, not here, you're not. And it kind of died on the vine. Nobody wanted to have anything to do with it anymore. Remember that? I mean, they're crazy. They wanted to have, all those people here shut down Guantanamo. That was the liberal talking point at one point. That was the liberal thing. We're going to shut down Guantanamo. We're going to set free all those people down there. It's mistreatment. They're waterboarding them down there. Oh, the horror of it. Oh, so I don't know. They sort of backed off of that when it became no talking points. And I was reading an update last night. I was talking in the Cornbread Nation show. Jill Biden up there going how mad. She was mad that, or afraid, frightened that Biden was having a stroke during that debate with President Trump, or at that time, candidate Trump, whatever. Her aides anonymously are saying she's a liar. They are mad about this whole thing. That they said nothing that during that debate, after that debate, or anything showed that they were worried in any kind of way about his health condition. And I told you, she's a liar. And if you were really afraid of his health, that he might be having a stroke while on stage, as the sitting president of the United States, Well, in name only, we know who was running things. Would you not go and rescue him and say, by the way, that might even bring sympathy. It'll show weakness, but it will show that, hey, we're having an episode. He's sick. You know, you could run a screen on that. It was looking so bad. I'm surprised they didn't pull that. But she was lying and saying that, you know, I was afraid he was having a stroke. I'm watching my husband struggle. I was afraid he was, you know, something bad's going to happen to him. No, bull. What was she said at the end of it? You answered every question good, Joe. You done a good job, Joe. Come on. But now people around her, they're sick and tired of her. Sick and tired of her. Even the people that was along for that ride, they feel like they've been sold out. Yeah, it was real a joke. A joke. What happened was he was exposed for just what bad shape he was in. And we all saw it. It wasn't like that was the only instance. They acted like that was the only time he looked bad. No, there were many, many, many times. That was just on full display with a lot of the world watching. And he's standing there, unfortunately, looking like a walking corpse, sad to say. And he just mouth hanging open, didn't know what to say. I mean, it'll go down in history as the worst debate ever. And believe me, there's been some bad ones. There's been some bad ones on the Republican side. Remember the debate? Excuse me. Remember the debate? Who was the guy that was running for? Oh my gosh! Way back in the day, Mr. Clean. I can't think of his name. And he debated. This is back during Obama. It was Biden was vice president, and they did the vice president. You know, the vice president debated him, and he kept drinking the water. What was that guy's name? You know, he was the speaker at one point, wasn't he? Wasn't he the speaker? I just can't think of his doggone name. And then I remember Al Sharpton and all them on Saturday Night Live, you know, pouring water, big jugs of water down their face. Well, wait a minute, I got an answer for you. You know, that debate looked pretty bad too. He looked totally unprepared, and you know, it was not good. It was horrible. Biden act all mad, pounding the table. God. I need to go back and pull some of that up. It was amazing. I was like, really? We're looking this bad against Biden? Come on. Is this the best we got to offer? Debates usually don't. Honestly, debates don't settle anything. The issues are, all they do is chew over and accuse each other of stuff. What's good about debates is to watch, as you know this, what's good about the debates is to watch how they act in that moment. You know, where they flub up, where they say the wrong thing, they can't remember something, they look nervous, they get mad. You know, that's what stands out. Nobody remembers all the issues. You know, when Trump told Hillary he'd have had her in jail, that moment will live forever. That moment solidified votes for Trump. I know that because I know people that loved that moment, and they said that moment sealed it for them. They loved it. They couldn't stand her, and they wanted that to be said, and they loved it. When Reagan told the heckler to shut up, that stands out. You know, he was sick, he wasn't feeling good, and it was not going good for him. It was a bad not going good during that debate. But then he just, you know, he had a couple other ones too where when he was feeling better, quibs that he told, he did really good on some of them. But that's what stands out. That's what goes down in history. It's not where they were talking about inflation or issues, major, minor, it doesn't matter. Nobody remembers that. What you remember is those moments when it goes really good or really bad. And depending on which side you're rooting for, it's both of those. You know, for conservatives, that was a good moment because it exposed how bad he is, you know, so they loved it. On the other side, they're going, oh my gosh, we got to get him off the stage. Corn pop. Can you imagine? Can you just imagine a Republican or conservative or whatever? I don't even care if they're libertarian. Can you imagine them trying to come out with a story like that and that not being racial? I mean, honestly, I mean, it's just crazy, absolutely crazy. But that's the narrative, you know. That is what happens. Politics is that's why it's such a drug. It really is, because it's all about narrative. It's all about image. It's all about framing it for the people. And Democrats, I got to say, they're absolutely skilled at framing something. And the Republicans for a long time until Trump, they look like just tired old men. I mean, they honestly, or just stupid. A lot of times they've rolled out some real idiots, and they know how to frame it and just suck in the Republican and make them look bad, and that becomes the talking point. Trump has showed them how to just blast through that. They can't do it to him. He absolutely owns them in that. They don't want to debate this guy. They think they do, but they don't. He absolutely just knows how, in a street fighting kind of way, how to just snatch victory from their jaws and make them look stupid. Take their own talking points and turn them around and beat them over the head with it. That's what's changed. It really has changed. I know people that never watched a political debate in their life, but have been locked in watching them since he debated Hillary. They love them. And it is entertainment. Let's be honest. It is entertainment. People watch, they got the popcorn out, and they really don't even dive deep into like I said, into what the debate's about. They just want to see who gets who. It's like WWF or something. I mean, like, it's the walk-in. I mean, so funny. Remember when we had the Republican debates and it was Vivek and Trump and Nikki Haley, and who else was up there? One other person. My gosh, that was, and they were attacking each other. Oh my gosh, it was funny. I mean, that's the thing. Oh my goodness. That's the one thing we'll always have, is we'll always have politics, and we're always going to have stories, and we're always going to have laughter, and we're always have anger, because it's a wicked, wicked business, and we know it. And most of it is corruptly held. What about the guy? How does this happen in America? The fake CIA guy, $40 million worth of gold bars, or million, whatever it was, cash, all this stuff. The guy never did anything that he said he did. How does that guy get in? How did they do a background check on him? I mean, what did they find out? Oh my gosh. It just tells you how bad our country really is, how sick it is. I mean, it's amazing to see that story come out. And there's going to be more like it. I really do believe there's going to be more like it. That's where all the money went. And in fact, he had it at his house. What does he go down and shine the gold up every day? And the guy was still working the scheme. That's how he got caught. He was kept asking for more deals. I mean, is that how it happens? A CIA dude can say, hey, I need some more gold bars for this operation that we're running. I mean, how does that happen? I mean, like we just, okay, we know the gold's not at Fort Knox, so where do they get the gold bars from? Where do they come from? I mean, this guy had more than I've heard about that's been anywhere spotted in a long time. It's a crazy story. Like, you just call up, on the phone. Yeah, it's Joe. I'm going to be running an operation over in Indonesia. I'm going to need some more gold bars. Okay. Shipment will be there day after tomorrow. And you just down there shining them up. Oh, let me get some more. Like this guy could have easily, nobody knew he had. I mean, easily just live the rest of his life doing what he could have retired. Yeah, I've been in the game for a while. I'm going to retire. He got greedy. He wanted more. And he got caught. I mean, my gosh. Can you believe that? It's like the Hitler gold or something. I mean, where in the world? Usually get their money from drug trafficking. Well, yeah, I mean, I know it's dirty, but I mean it's like, how easy is this for them to operate like that he could do that. The unhinged and amount of corruption that is being discovered is off the charts. Yeah, broski. I mean, good points this morning. Great points. Daryl, God bless you. Anybody else that's watching? I hope you have a fabulous Friday. I will be on this evening live. Let me teach myself. Live. As long as the internet's wrong or not wrong or off or whatever. We've been having afternoon storms. We're in that time of year. People hitting telephone poles, all this stuff. So it's caused some problems. But hopefully we're good today. We'll get in here tonight. Jam it up. Hey, y'all send a thought and a prayer for old James at Empty Pockets Podcast. His shows have been stripped from him right now. People have been attacking him. He's a good dude, friend, and I know a lot of you know him. Been in his channel. He come in last night, and I think we might hook up a show late night one night, me, him, Biscuit Boy, and let him get out there and talk. And I know he's got his old Killer Carls as well, and Tony, Big Tony. But I hate that for him. I mean, that's two that have had that happen to him in the last 90 days or so. Because of things that they're saying. There's people coming after him, and right now he's two of his channels are taken from him. So that's what I say. Big Brother, whoever that is, somebody he ruffled the feathers of somebody. He said people were complaining on him, making reports on him, and then they took it and put it under review. I don't know, but it's sometimes when they take it, it's really hard to get back, and he may have to redo, and that's tough. James is a good guy. He's on limited income, and it helps him to have the podcast and money. It's extra money coming in because he, like I said, he has health problems. Y'all pray for him today. He's a good guy. Pray for Daryl too, and y'all keep Brother Barrett, Pastor Barrett, in your prayers. I know he's had ongoing in and out of the hospital issues, and y'all pray for him. He's a really, and y'all know he's been in the chat many times. He's an awesome person and a good man. I just think about all these people. Keep praying for us. We're doing okay. We're trying to. We're trying to keep moving forward. My boy, Jared Wolf, he's excited about being part of the podcast now. Cowboy Cook in here. God bless you, brother. They were up in the middle of the night singing. TikTok, baby. Anyway, thanks for your support of the Wolf Nation Network. And you'll be seeing a lot more about it. Hopefully have our own app here soon. We just want to be able to drive things and not be stuck to algorithms and stuff like that, and be able to get our stuff out there, because they do. I mean, X is the worst. I'll say it. They so try to cancel you down. They've never took us or anything, but they obviously shield us on there. We don't see nowhere near the numbers, and sometimes I think they just hide us. There's a couple others that do it as well, but well, I see your point, but they do, for whatever reason that has occurred to him. So anyway, when you go that hard and heavy, oh, we have the roosters in the pen over here. You'll have a good discussion going on. God bless you both. I do count you both as friends. But, like I said, we see some things differently sometimes. That's okay. God bless America. God bless America. And pray for the troops. Maybe a deal will be done today. We come in and talk about it tonight. We'll find out what kind of deal it is. I suspect there'll be no deal. What do y'all think? Be a deal tonight? President gets to walk out Friday night, White House, give a big little quick speech. We have the deal. Hold the papers up. I don't think it's going to happen. No, not on X. Rumble, YouTube. But I'm saying for myself, I know we get shadow banned and all this stuff. And good morning, Ernest. How you doing? He come in last night and told us he's under a 2-week review, I think. So hopefully he'll get his stuff back. You can. it stinks to start over. And hey, Kim's Coffee Talk that's on Rumble, she was canceled twice before she ever got to Rumble. Lost thousands of followers. She was on Clapper at one point, and it might have been YouTube. I don't remember, but Kim at Kim's Coffee Talk, awesome person from here in Georgia. She was, he was live last night, so maybe got back in. So yeah. Yeah. God bless you, Ernest. Y'all have a great day, and we'll see you tonight. I'm gonna get my eyes checked today. Pray for that. Give me some new glasses. It's that time of year. I do it every year. At my age, you gotta check them every year. So we'll be doing that this afternoon, and then get home and have a good, hopefully a great Friday night weekend. What about those Atlanta Braves? They are just tearing it up. I mean, wow. They just ripped Boston. I mean, grand slam. I mean, wow. So proud of them. Maybe they can keep it up. This was a team everybody said would be third in their division. They're smoking everybody's predictions right now. Awesome. Tonight, Georgia Bulldogs who won the SEC tournament play first round, 7 p.m. Go Dogs. Baseball. We usually sign up for football. The baseball team, give them some props. 12 SEC teams, 12, count them, in the tournament. 12 out of 16 made it in. Interesting. We'll see what happens with that. The New York Knicks in the big game, they got a big injury they're dealing with. We'll talk about sports tonight too. Lots going on. All right, we're out. We're going. We are.